There you go, Kia. Hey, 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 guys. Aloha. It's Aloha Monday. Now we're stuck with work all week. Yes, exactly. So, how are y'all doing? Got a case actually we're going to go through today from Hawaii. I went to sleep last night and I was looking around at what was going on and I came across Misha's case, and I've been trying to spend as much of today as possible to get used to it, find out what happened. You guys know me, I'll share a poster or something, but I also like to share a little bit more if I can get more information. So I have been trying to grab stuff together for her case, to be able to share it. This one, gang, I'm hoping she's out there. In fact, I'm hoping maybe she will hear, whether it's this video or one of the local news channels or something. I'm really hoping she's out there and will hear something and come home, because her whole family, I mean, you could follow what's going on Facebook right now, and her family is missing her. And they're trying, they're searching, they're getting the word out. They're doing everything they need to do to get this out, but now they need our help for the rest of it. So, but let me say some hi there, hey there's to people popping up in chat. We had Chris was in chat earlier. Not sure if you're still here. I know you'll be catching up in a second. In fact, Chris shared another case from Wichita with me, which I am going to real quickly at the end of today. Before we get off, I want to cover that case also. I That is a little bit more limited in information, but we do at least have a poster and some basics that we can share. So if you're from the Wichita area, Kansas area, anywhere, please, okay, take a look for that one later on also. Lioness is in chat. Hello, 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 Lioness. How you doing, my dear? And also, yeah, what got me on this? You guys know there's certain cases that when I hear them, all of them kind of grab me, but there's certain ones that really, really worry me when I hear of something happening. And one of those that tend to grab my attention very quickly are cases where the person who has gone missing is pregnant. And that's what we're dealing with right now. Let's see. Oh, good. It's popping up right now. This is Misha. Misha is a 19-year-old who lives in Schofield Barracks. And I've got maps to go through with you guys, because I know a lot of you are not used to the area here in Hawaii. So I can kind of introduce you guys to the areas where she is used to being, things like that. What worries me right now, gang, and why I think it's so important to get this out, she's been missing since the 31st. She was last seen on the 31st. Today's the 5th. Now, if you know military bases, I don't know how many of you guys who are watching right now know about military bases and what they can be like, but they usually have video cameras galore. You've got video cameras at any, okay, entrance or exit to the base. Now, are there other ways you can get on and off base? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Okay. Growing up an Army brat, trust me, you can get on and off base any way you want to. Okay. There are places you can go. But in general, if you're going to go out through the main roads or stuff like that, you're going to get caught on video. There's a pretty good number of video surveillance systems. And what scares me here is no one has seen any video of her. Now, and I will remind everyone about this throughout this. Her family, she's from Hawaii. Okay, I think she might have been born here. Something in my head remembers reading that. But she's local girl. Okay. So she's not like coming from, yes. Okay. When people mention she's okay from a Filipino background and all that, that's a lot of the people who live here. We're from all sorts of different backgrounds here, but she was born, raised, it seems, here. So she's got a lot of friends, family, things like that. And the family and friends are out there looking like crazy. And one of the things I have heard is the husband in this case has also been really working hard to find her also. So I want everyone to know this going into this right now. Okay, we're not going to say anything badly about, okay, oh, could it be this? Could it be? Yes, anything can be anything, guys. Okay, you guys know how I feel about facts, though. We need to be able to back things up with facts. And right now, the one thing I can tell you is her family has said that he has been doing everything in his power, okay, to find her and to help get the word out. His platoon has been doing everything, also trying to go out. They did a 6-mile search for her yesterday. I think it was yesterday or day before. So we're going to go through that, but let's do this first. Chris, this is actually, and we are going to, by the way, before we finish, I do have a article on what you were talking to me about earlier, and I'm going to bring that up also. But this one I just found out about yesterday, and so it's new. And what gets me with this is someone out there right now knows, even if it's her. Okay, and you guys know how I feel about if someone is quote unquote a runaway or stuff like that. They're in just as much danger. And she, as a young woman who is 6 months pregnant, is in danger right now. Okay, she needs to be home where she's safe right now. So what I'm going to do real quickly is I'm going to show you guys. You guys can see the poster here about Mischa. Can the military be keeping the video because they don't want, you know what? Right now, in theory, yes. I am going to say this. Military is not the only group looking into this right now. This has reports on both military, CID, okay, is looking into this, and so is Honolulu Police Department. So both sides, there are actually open, this is an open case on both sides. So always possible, but I can tell you right now, a lot of people have been going, trying to help out door to door, get on base and talk to people. Is there any other video footage, things like that? Anything's always possible. But right now, something, I'm not sure. And you're going to hear more about this and her frame of mind at the time that she did go missing. According to her family, they in fact mentioned, in fact, I'll say this quote from it right now. They put out some notes and everything for people just to answer a lot of the questions that we've been hearing about. And on one of the notes, they had put that according to that, she would at times request alone time. This was due to depressive episodes that she could feel coming back on. So, for example, if she felt like she was, so maybe I'm getting the feeling and it could be tied to pregnancy for all we know. We know what hormones can be like during that time period. Okay. Is HSP or National Guard involved in the search? Not that I know of right now. I know the platoon and a bunch of other groups are. But there have not been like grid searches per se, from what I've understood. And so it sounds like she would have times, and she knew herself well enough to be able to say, I need time. I need a break. Okay, can you please just give me some time? And that's what she would do. She'd go to her husband and say, I need some space. Can you give me some space? And according to her family, her husband always respected, quote, husband always respected her space and would give her a few hours of alone time. BC, exactly. And that's why I wanted to get this out as quickly as possible. So it sounds like this was something they were kind of used to. Okay, emotional. And like I said, hormones from pregnancy can send everything all over the place on top of things. I can tell you this, she last spoke to her family, okay, her biological family, on the 30th, July 30th. Nothing out of the normal, okay, they put that there was nothing out of the ordinary, okay, it was a normal conversation that they would normally have. July 31st is when she went missing. Now, I'm going to play a video in a second. However, she was last seen inside her home, and it looks like she was last seen by her husband. With the comment here about the depressive episodes and stuff like that, I have a funny feeling She may have asked for some time, according to what, okay, we're being told. And they make a comment that no one knows what she was wearing, mostly because he had gone to sleep, okay, when she went missing. So my suspicion is that he went to bed and that was the last time he saw her. Okay, now this is based off of what we're being told from the reports from family and all that. Oh, HSP. HSP, actually, it's Honolulu Police Department. And Honolulu Police Department does have officers on the case. In fact, I forget the name of them, but we've been told the name of two of those people. And part of the reason why HPD involved in this is she is a local girl. Okay. And when you're a local girl, okay, it's a little different than, say, a military wife who comes here who doesn't really know anything but the military lifestyle. When we moved to Hawaii ourselves, my dad was in the Army. Okay. My mom, when she came out here, all of her friends were through the military. It was all the wives groups, things like that. So if something happened, those were the people that she would have talked to. Well, in the case of Mischa, Mischa is from Hawaii. So not only does she know local, okay, her own wives groups, but she also knows just the normal civilian population here, college friends, things like that. Amber Alert would not qualify in this case. She is 19. In fact, there was a little kind of interesting thing going on at the beginning where people had, on one of the posters, they put her as a missing child. And the question had come up, how is she popping up as a child? She's 19. She's an adult officially. So I think I'd have to check what the age for Honolulu. Actually, let me do that real quick. What is the age for Amber Alerts in Hawaii? Amber Alert, Hawaii age. Let's see what, dear Google. 17. So yeah, in Hawaii, our Amber Alerts are called Miley Alerts. Minor abducted in life-threatening emergency. You have to be 17 or under for that. So she would not have qualified for an Amber Alert. So what they're doing instead, of course, is putting out all these extra alerts. She's hitting all the news channels, everything at this point. That's the question. BC, I'm not going to lie, there are definitely some questions that I would have. And I'm not sure, okay, is a nightgown that she normally wears missing? Are there certain outfits that she's, okay, that right now they're saying they don't know what she was wearing whatsoever. Yeah, we will actually, in fact, let me do this. Let's start before we go any further on this. I'm going to pull you guys up this. This is from one of our local news channels. And as you can see here, there is a $10,000 reward right now for information leading to her, okay, finding out where she is and bringing her home, etc. That money there, the 10,000 there, is coming from the military, CID. CID is the one who has offered that. I think our local group, okay, is at 1,000. The crime tips group type thing, they're at 1,000 right now, but I suspect that could change over time. So I think I got my volume fixed out. If you were here the other day, you know what I'm talking about. I have a pair of really bad my old earbuds are gone. Crystal, you don't gotta apologize. I love you. Whenever you show is all good for me. Love you, Mike. Yes, Cassie, keep barking. Okay, let's see. It did not work. It didn't work. Oh no. Okay, yeah, my earbuds drove me crazy the other day, but let's see here. Okay, I've got us here. So this is KHON earlier today. Actually, this might have been yesterday. Let me see, August 4th. Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday is when this really started hitting the news.
The U.S. Army continues its search for a missing pregnant woman. Officials say the 19-year-old was reported missing by her husband on Thursday. Alina Lee spoke to investigators and has the latest.
The Army Criminal Investigation Division is offering a $10,000 reward.
So that picture you just started, just to let you guys know, I'm going to take it back just a little bit. That is one of the gates at Schofield. So that's what I was meaning by if you walk out any of those areas, you would have video footage. Same if you drive out. Okay, mostly because those are the areas that actually go into lockdown. When we're at a higher level of security, okay, those areas become very important security wise. So,
The Army Criminal Investigation Division is offering a $10,000 reward for information regarding Mischa Johnson. Investigators say she was last seen July 31st at her home on Schofield Barracks.
All we know so far is that on the 1st of August, we had the soldier report that his spouse was missing. It's not something that happens very often here in our area.
Johnson is
No.
19 years old and 6 months pregnant. Family members declined an interview while the investigation is ongoing, but are concerned for her safety and well-being.
She's a member of the military family, so we want to make sure that she's okay. Right now, we just have a concerned family, a concerned husband, a concerned community that is wondering where Mischa
Yep.
Johnson is.
Johnson is 5 feet 2 inches tall, weighs 170 pounds, and has a large dragon tattoo on her back. She is known to frequent Eva Villages and Waikiki areas, according to CID.
She's a local girl. She's from this area. And so we're hoping that some friends or some family members or acquaintances might have any bit of information. That's why we're offering the reward as an incentive.
CID says the investigation is still in its preliminary stages.
We're talking closely with the family. We're looking at anything when it comes to surveillance cameras that are available to the general public. We're trying to rebuild those timelines on where she might have been.
Anyone with information regarding Mischa Johnson is asked to contact the Pacific Field office or submit an anonymous tip online. For more information, go to khon2.com. Alina Lee, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.
Okay, so that is what we know through through just watching news. Actually, that's one of the better videos about it. They actually went in and talked with everyone. And also, oh no, Crystal Stola, your phone's not charging past. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. And totally sucks. So, okay, let me do this as we go through the story here. Actually, if you guys don't mind, real quickly, I am going to add her photo here in the upper right-hand corner. I forgot to do that earlier. And if I'm going to do Google Earth, I want her photo up so everyone can at least have some way to look at what she looks like. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let me pull up Google Earth, and then we'll start going through what I've been able to put together so far. So here's Google Earth, everyone's favorite Google Earth. And so let's see. Just do this real quickly. Sorry, gang. Organizing my screen here so I know what I'm looking at. There we go. Hey, Angie, how you doing, my dear? Welcome, welcome. So, Oahu. This is Oahu. Okay. Honolulu, for those of you who ever wonder, is way down in this, well, actually right in this area right here is Honolulu. Okay. Diamond Head is off in this area. Okay. So it gives you an idea where everything is. She lived and went missing on what we call the west side of the island. West side of the island has Schofield Barracks, which is a army base. Let me see. So where she went missing from, Schofield Barracks up here. Now, guys, Schofield is huge. Schofield is huge. Actually, when 911 occurred, the planes that came in through Kolekole Pass, which is right by Schofield, and then came in, and you got Pearl Harbor right here. So you've got Wheeler Air Force Base, Schofield Barracks, and this Dole Plantation up in this area. So a lot of people living in this. Okay, the way the military bases are, especially Schofield, you've got multiple smaller little communities within one large community. Okay, I used to live on an area called Fort Shafter, and we had literally probably 3 or 4 smaller communities, okay, depending on what part of the base you lived. It's the same thing here. Okay, a lot of people might recognize each other in places, but you don't always. Okay, you may know the name of the people who live in your vicinity, but not everywhere else. So as I mentioned, July 30th, okay, she spoke to her family, nothing out of the normal here. As I mentioned, her family is from Oahu. To give you some of the ideas of where she is known to hang out in the past based off of friends and stuff like that, we have Waikiki. She's got a history of hanging out in Waikiki area, and then Eva Villages. So here's Eva Villages right here. So these are some of the areas that the family might look at, and I'm going to be mentioning some of these areas later on, including some other locations in this area also. Because hopefully she's out there at I hope to God she's at a friend's house or something. That's what I'm hoping. That's literally what I'm hoping. And and she just needed some time. Okay. And it's very possible, Christola, and that's the thing. There's so many possibilities right now with this, and you guys know me. I'm always going to keep my mind open to all of the possibilities while hoping the one that brings everyone back together is the one that it is. So the 31st, okay, so last week on the 31st, she was last seen by her husband in her house. It looks like he says he went to sleep, and when he woke up, she wasn't there anymore. According to the family, as I mentioned, she would ask for quiet time, which he would usually give to her. Now, report on 8/1, the next day after he last saw her before going to sleep, is when he reported it. He reported it to the Honolulu Police Department and the military police at 5:30 p.m. Okay, so I'm not sure whether, and these would be some of the questions that hopefully I know the police are asking and stuff like that. Okay, was he giving her a little bit more time? Were people out looking around, and then finally said, okay, we got to pull the trigger. We got to call the police and get a report in at this point. So that was at 5:30 p.m. on the 1st. The next day, 8/2, is the next day we have things. That's when the search really started going full force. At that point, you had family doing one thing and the husband doing something else. Okay, basically all in connection with finding her, but in different ways. The family started searches right away. The husband, and I'll get into this a little bit more, but he ended up spending more time with like the police and answering questions and looking at phones, things like that. Because one of the other things that they discovered through this is that when she left or when she disappeared, it was without any of her belongings other than probably clothes on her. Her phone was left at the house. Her keys were left at the house, and her wallet was left at the house. She does not drive, so she doesn't have like a driver's license or anything like that she could have taken out or anything. Literally everything was left at the house. Her husband immediately gave her phone to the police, military police, CID, so that they could go into that. We'll talk a little bit more about that. However, the family on the 2nd started searches. Now I'm going to pull us back here again to give you an idea. So Schofield Barracks is where she went missing from. They know from her being local girl, they know where most her friends are, where her old stomping grounds would be, all those things, her happy places, maybe, whatever word you want to use. They know where those locations are. Okay, so they went to go look in those areas. Some of those areas, Schofield was definitely checked. Wahiwa was, oh my God, these dogs. Okay, Wahiwa is further up north. I'm going to kill my dogs. You guys are being too noisy. They just want tons and tons of treats. Okay, Waipio was an area. Okay, so here's Wahiwa. So you can see Wahiwa is pretty close to Schofield. You've got a lot of different like fast food restaurants, okay, stores, things like that, hospital up in that area. So she definitely, this would be an area she would have been used to going. Waipio down here, they would check. Waipio, not Waipio Acres, Waipio itself. Other areas they looked, Waipahu down here, they also looked at. The last place that they looked at was Mililani. Okay, and Mililani is right up here. So you definitely get a feeling, okay, the area she was used to was this area, other than Waikiki. Okay, the area, her hangout spots was this central to west side of Oahu. And and then of course Waikiki down here. Here's Eva Villages also. So while family was searching for all those areas, husband, I honestly have no reason to not trust the MPs out here. I've always had no problems with them out here. Growing up military, okay, Army brat on the bases here, I've never really seen any major problems. I guess put it this way, okay, no matter what group of police, whatever they're called or whatever, you got good police and bad police. You got good teachers and bad teachers. You've got good nurses and bad nurses. You've got a little bit of everything, no matter what. Right now, from what I see, okay, this early in things, okay, they are working to try to get as much stuff found as possible. They're getting the word out. In fact, right now, I'll be honest, I see almost more coming from CID. Okay, because CID is now hitting all of the military Facebook sites. Okay, if you go to Facebook and you type in Mischa's name, you'll see they're actually hitting a lot of like Stars and Stripes Forever. They're hitting all those other locations also to get the word out. There's a lot of Facebook groups for wives clubs and things like that. So they're trying to make sure all those things are being hit up. Now, couple things that are frustrating me does come into this next bit. And part of this frustration is because we don't have the full information. Okay. At 9 o'clock on the 2nd, okay, while her family was searching, her husband met with CID. Okay, makes total sense. 9 a.m., they're going to want to meet with him at that point, go through things, question him, find out whatever they can from him. They also, remember, she had left her phone at the house. He had gone, he immediately was like, yeah, come take, okay, was cool with them looking at their house. He gave the phone to CID to look at. Problem is, and guys, I'm not a tech person, gang. I'm not. Okay. But what is frustrating right now is they informed him that they could not get anything off of the phone due to Apple encryption. Now, we all know encryption's encryption. And yes, with time, I suspect they can break through things, okay, but they're going to need time for that. And this is literally 24 hours that they've had at this point to do it. That's not a lot of time to do this level of thing. But unfortunately, they were not able to just go in there and punch in some numbers and open up her Facebook and whatever else she might have on her phone, text messages, all that. The other thing they did, and I think it was Verizon, I forgot to write it down, but he was able to get in touch with Verizon. Okay, because again, remember, big difference when you are on a phone account with your loved ones. It makes it much easier for your loved ones, if something happens to you, to get information released. Okay, it happened with Caleb, for example. Okay, his family was able to go and say, hey, he's on our account. We need this information released. That's kind of what happened here. He was able to go to Verizon and say, my wife has gone missing. I need to get access to, okay, what phone calls has she made, things like that. And they were able to pull that off. Hey, Smiley, how you doing, my dear? And so they were able to at least get that information. Nothing of any real importance coming from it, from what we're understanding. Now, could there be importance and we just don't know? Oh, yeah. If there is any potential foul play, and I am going to say this, nowhere, HPD, CID, no one is mentioning foul play. Okay. Foul play is always possible until we know it's not possible, though. So you got to keep that out on the board. Sorry, you are being a little princess, little diva, I swear. And it's always good to have you here, Smiley. And we had fun this morning, didn't we? Oh my God, that was so much fun this morning. So phone wise, they're not getting a lot of information now either. And girl, you don't gotta apologize whatsoever. You're good. You're good. Um, the other thing that they did do is get a canine to go into the house. Um, they found, wait, who are you talking about? Real quickly, sorry. Because right now, unless they have found her in the last couple minutes, okay, I will check real quickly. I don't think, yeah, that's my little fur baby Cassie. Okay, I'm going to check this real quick. I'm not sure if that's what Cristola is saying, is that they found her. But let me double check before I go saying anything else here. But what I can do, okay, still that. I'm not seeing any updates right now. Okay, no. Okay, good. And in fact, there's some other things out there that I'm not feeling comfortable enough talking about yet because I can't verify it quite yet. So, okay, that's great. You have your earbuds in, and Chris, oh, thank God, BC, thank God, because she's literally, and it's horrible. They drive me crazy. And so they did get a canine involved to search and see. Oh, you're talking about Maddie. Got it. So, they got the canine involved, brought into the house. So this is just another example of, as her family is saying, her husband has been totally open to anything that needs to happen. He's been there trying to help and get answers also. Okay, and that's why I'm being very, very careful, because we don't know what happened here. We really don't know right now. And I'm just hoping between you guys here getting the word out like you guys are amazing at doing, and the fact I'm here in Hawaii, okay, maybe I could get more people looking at this. Unfortunately, canine wise, 0. Okay. Absolutely nothing found from the canine. Now I'm not sure what they were actually trying to get. To me, a canine would have smelled her because her scent's all over the house. So unless they were using, okay, remains or checking for blood, or I don't know. I'm not sure what their thought process was behind that. So, oh, got it. Okay, you'll have to share with that a little bit when we get to that one for sure. So all that happened on the 2nd. The 2nd was a huge day for getting things together. 8/3. So now we are talking the 3rd, which was Saturday. On Saturday, the power of the military family came together. And I'm only putting it that way because I've seen the power of military as an ohana or family. Okay, when one family a part of your family in the military is hurting, people come together. Okay, I don't know if it's because, you know what, when you have loved ones going off to war, people come together to support the family of that person. I don't know what it all comes from, but I've seen it over and over. And this was the perfect example of this. Her husband was communicating with his platoon. He had a group discussion. Sierra, I have no reason to believe that he is. We never know. And I'll wait to see if I hear anything else from the family. But I can tell you right now, her family does, at least from what they are sharing with all of us, they don't think he is involved. I'm always the one to say, you know what, anything's possibility, but I trust families. I trust the family's gut instinct. And they have said from the get-go, he's been trying to help out and try to get the word out as much as possible. So what he did was, with his platoon, they put together on Saturday a search. You know, Sierra, there's a lot of things I'm starting to hear. And as I hear more, as if you have any information, in fact, let me real quickly share this with you, my dear. It's here somewhere, wherever my email is. If you have anything you want to send it, please feel free to send. I'm really hoping I'm one of those who believes in the police, and I'm hoping they're gathering all the information and they're able to come together. I also know families. We just had a case of a little girl who went missing on the mainland, and you had two sides of the family, and one side was just like, you know what, we're here to look for this little girl, and the other side kept pointing fingers at, okay, uh brother-in-laws and uncles and this and that and all that, and in the end it came down to that. So yeah, he was saying, no, okay, so what's happening is this. She was last seen, okay, just to verify what Sierra's saying here. What I was able to put together from all the notes that her family has shared is she was last seen on the 31st. When they asked the question, what was she wearing? The comment was no one knew what she was wearing because she went missing while he was asleep. So did she change? I don't know. And that's something hopefully police are like, okay, well, what was she wearing when you went to bed? Okay, and then they can verify, is that those clothes still there or not? Okay, that to me is something they can look into. The reason why 8-1 is being used, 8-1 is the day it was reported to Honolulu Police Department and the military police, CID. So my suspicion is he woke up in the morning and she wasn't there. And that's why we're getting two different dates there. And so thanks for asking that, because that's always one of those confusing things with all that. And there's a lot of things, and you know what, with what else you said, there's a lot of them. Being pregnant is one of the hardest times of a woman's life. You've got hormones all over the place. It's also a dangerous time in a woman's life. Okay, I was hearing some rumors that actually it looks like I was able to get enough verification where I feel comfortable talking about it here. There was an older female who has recently made a couple pregnant women in that area feel very, very uncomfortable. Okay, one of them was riding in the Schofield Barracks group, wives group, that this one lady had come up to her and made some comments to her about her cart, and then went and dropped something. I forget if it was her keys or what, and then said, oh, can you pick that up for me and all. And she just got this real distinct, weird feel, that feeling where you're like, something's wrong here. So that's something people have told the person. There is a name that connects with all of these. So you guys know me. I won't usually bring things up unless I can get names to connect with everything. And I'm hoping they're looking into things like that. Okay, because pregnancy is a scary time for a young woman. It really is, plain and simple. And then yes, relationships also. So at 9:30 in the morning on the 3rd, Saturday, the husband and his platoon started a 6-mile search of the base. Okay, they started basically going into certain areas. I'm not sure what the exact search area was. Let's come over here, though, so you guys can kind of get an idea. Okay, I'm not sure exactly where they lived on Schofield, but this gives you an idea. All of this is housing. This is all housing here. Okay, so God only knows what area they're part of. But 6 miles, and then you get all this stuff out here too. This is why I'm saying, yes, if you leave the barracks through the main entrances, you're going to have video cameras. But if you wander off into any of these areas, there's not necessarily going to be video cameras. So that's when you run into cameras can be helpful, but they're not always 100%. And now the other thing that happened on the 3rd is the family was sponsored onto base to help with this search. For anyone who does not know military, put a one in chat if any of you guys have military connections. I'm an Army brat. My dad retired back when I was in college. So I've lived here since, we moved to Hawaii when I was, in 1987. I was in high school. Put a 2. Okay, there we got 1, 2, no military background to understand. With military, especially nowadays, it's hard to get on a base if you do not have a military ID. Okay. Once you have that military ID, you can get these little stickers on your car, and those stickers will let you on and off base. Even with the stickers, sometimes you have to show IDs and stuff like that just to prove that you are who you are. It's security, especially in this time and age where you're dealing in the middle of the Pacific. Okay, we're the central part of the Pacific. So we go through some pretty high threat con areas. Okay, there's been times that the threat levels are so high that getting on and off bases like Pearl Harbor can be a 1-hour wait in lines. This is a couple years ago, but still, it was crazy. And your dad's, Angie's dad is a Marine, but was in the service before you were. And see, I was kind of each. I was like I said, I was just starting college when my dad retired. So we came out here, lived at Fort Shafter, and then he retired and we started moving around until my parents found the house they wanted. But what that means is if you don't have that ID or you don't have that sticker on your car, you can't just pick up and drive into a military base. Okay, you're going to get stopped. Happened to my sister-in-law actually last weekend when she was trying to pick us up at the airport. She somehow wandered into Pearl Harbor, and they're like, no, let's turn around and let's go back the other way. So how you get around that is you have to be sponsored onto base. Someone else has to vouch for you and say, yeah, you're safe being on base. And that's what happened here. They had people sponsor her onto base, the family, so that they could search, which was something I think very important right now, especially as long as their daughter, their sister is missing, having access to that base to search, to go talk to people, to hang up posters. That's important. And that's something I'm hoping, honestly, I'll just put it this way. I'm hoping the military base, I'm hoping Schofield takes the step of saying, you know what, we'll make sure that you have access to the base, okay, to get this stuff. Hey, KK, I just saw my phone. All of a sudden I was like, oh, wait, someone's calling me right now. Love you, my dear. Love you, love you, love you. And so they were here, they were searching, no leads from that. So here we are, six days in. Let me count this. 31st was the last time she was seen. I'm taking it later in the day on the 31st. So 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5-6 days right now. We're into this, and does not seem like they have any hints whatsoever. I'm not sure if tips are coming in or anything. Will do. I'll try to contact you as soon as I can after, for sure. Hey, Sleuth, how you doing, my dear? Love you, love you, love you. Other things with this, people have asked ring camera footage. If you're watching this and you're from that area, you're from Schofield, please check your ring cam footage. What is frustrating is, from what I'm reading so far, there is absolutely no camera footage, which in today's day and age is absolutely, I can't believe. You're on a base that I would think has cameras. Okay, I should jump in my car and go, oh, it's on the other side of the island. And it's, for those of you on the mainland, that doesn't mean much. But when you're in Hawaii, other side of the island is like forever. So, but I would love to know how often do you actually run into traffic cams, things like that? How close to like the exchange is she? Things like, I don't know the answers to those. And that's the thing, Sleuth. It's unheard of to not have any ring cam footage. surveillance footage, nothing. Okay, my understanding, according to her family, there is one camera that faces her side of the street, her house. So probably a camera, ring cam from another house facing their area. Unfortunately, that camera was not recording. So again, we're back down to absolutely zero webcam footage, which to me makes no sense. I mean, Hawaii loves our cameras. Okay. I have the Nextdoor app, and the number of cameras that I know, if I ever disappeared out of my neighborhood, trust me, gang, there's so many webcams set up all over the place. Ring cam, wise cam, this cam, that cam, whatever. No, I'm bad. I'm bad. Slow. Like, I used to complain when I had to drive from the east side of Oahu all the way over to Eva Beach, and which, okay, I got okay, east side of Oahu to Eva Beach. I mean, we're talking about this side of the island over here, all the way over to here. It was even worse when I had to drive from this side to all the way up to this side here. But yeah, okay, I'm bad. I'm bad. I guess that's like me complaining to all you guys when you're in 20-degree weather that I'm cold because it's 70 degrees here. Yeah, what can I say? So I'm dull, but I'm really hoping this is a long time for her, for a young woman to be missing, a young woman who's pregnant. That's where I'm so worried right now. And I'm hoping, if there is a history of dealing with emotional, okay, ups and downs and stuff like that, I'm hoping if she does see Hawaii News now talking about her, or okay, KITV or KHON, or even this video here, that she will realize it's okay. We all sometimes need to walk away. Sometimes we need, if that's what's happened here, okay, what matters more than anything is her safety. And I think sometimes, if it's that, and we don't know if it is or not, but if it is that type of situation, and sometimes people are scared to come out and say, you know what, I'm okay, because they're worried about, will they get in trouble? What's more important than anything is that you're okay, that the baby's okay. Your mom can give you a hug. Okay, we all know what that's like here. Okay, family, friends, all that are worried right now. So, um, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I'm hoping, now that it hit the news, I was really hoping, gang, today, that with it hitting all the news channels yesterday, I was hoping by now we would have an answer. Unfortunately, there is no answer as of right now. So I don't know. Hopefully CID will look into it more and more. They'll go and they'll try to get access to cameras. If the family does any more searches, I do know there's a lot of people on Stolen Stuff 808 who are like, hey, we'll be there to help search. Just let us know. In fact, a couple of them showed up, I think, over the weekend. Okay, if people need to set up some searches and all, we will drive that whole way. No, I know I'm joking about it, but it's true. People will go. Okay, when it comes down to it, people will do. So bringing it back to here, and then I do want to share one other story for another missing person that Chris shared with me. But this is Mischa here. Okay, she was last seen by her husband on the 31st, reported missing the next morning or next afternoon. In Schofield, she's 19 years old, 6 months pregnant, 5'2", 170 pounds. So she is definitely okay. I've tried getting a picture of this, and I have not been able to track one down. She has a very distinctive tattoo, a large dragon tattoo on her back. If at any point I do get a copy of that tattoo, I will make sure to update this photo, okay, and let you guys know. There was like, if you're talking who I'm talking about, no, they didn't. There's a couple cases I keep coming back to, and I think she's the one, getting her name, but I was looking at it actually right before my vacation. And she was, yeah, she was like she was right the due date. The thing here, Misha's 6 months. So, gosh, I hate even thinking on this thing. But in a case where someone's like 8.5 months, 9 months pregnant, okay, you worry about someone who wants the child. We're at 6 months. I don't know if we'd even be okay without a hospital, okay, viable at this point. So is this more of a case of something else that's happening at this point? Yeah, that's what gets me. And you know what? I do understand. Okay. First of all, it's the most dangerous time of a person's life, especially if they're having a rough time in their life for any reason, whatever that reason be. Okay. It's hormonally, it's all over the place. It's not just after you have a baby that you deal with hormones. It's dealing with the changes with hormones even then. And you add on, and I hate to say it, but being as young as 19, that's a lot of changes going through. That's a lot for someone to deal with. And it sounds like she has a wonderfully supportive family and all that. And that's why I'm hoping she can get home to her family for that support. And so hopefully there are ways you can. I've got the CID information here mainly because those are the main contact numbers being shared for this. Like I said, there's $10,000 by the CID. The Crime Stoppers is giving a $1,000 right now, from what I can tell. You can contact CID at the 808 number that you see right there. However, they also have an anonymous tip line, guys. If you put in that, okay, website address right there, if you are a friend of Mischa's and you may know what has happened, where she is, things like that, you do not have to share your name. You can do that anonymously. And she has many, many friends out there right now. Or if you've spoken to someone who thinks they know what's going on, please put that tip in. And so she is very young, very gorgeous. I mean, she is that picture, the smile, the one on the below, okay, the bottom one on the right. I mean, her smile, she's really gorgeous young woman, gorgeous young woman. And so what I'm going to do now is switch us real quickly over to something Chris shared with me, another case that I wanted to bring up. There's, again, not much on this case, but it's a 13-year-old. And you guys know how I feel about 13-year-olds, basically any year-old who's being thrown into the runaway area. And gang, take a look at this. This is what I love. Don't you love it when you see a article about someone who is missing and they're being labeled right there on the news as a juvenile runaway? Oh, shoot, I just lost my thing. Okay, there we go. They're literally being labeled a runaway. I mean, let's get rid of that, because I'm sorry. A 13-year-old who's missing in Wichita, okay, out on the streets, is not in a safe location, gang. Plain and simple. Okay. So yeah, I get she is so gorgeous, and the prayers for sure. So what we have here, though, to share with everyone, okay, this is, I'm thinking Zylea Brownlee. She went missing on Sunday. So hopefully the sooner, the quicker. That's exactly it. That is their way of saying, oh, this is just a runaway. You don't need to worry about it. But if you happen to see something about it, yeah, she's a runaway. No. She's someone who needs to be home where she's safe. And if she's not home, if she's not safe at home or not happy there, then you know what? The system needs to do their job and figure out why. Okay, don't just keep throwing. It's kind of like we were talking the other day. Okay, we had Maria. Maria ran off, okay, was lured away by a man who did not have good thoughts and ideas on what he was going to do with her. Okay, but she was not happy for one reason or another at home. And you know what? That's not my business, but it's damn sure the business of CPS or whatever to figure it out so that they can actually make sure she's in a better place. whether that is with her family or in another location. But it's definitely not the streets, and definitely in Maria's case, not with that guy. Sorry, I'm getting a little, yeah, little, you know, I'm on my little rant now. So Wichita PD says Ilea Brownlee was last seen leaving the 1100 block of North Poplar wearing a black bodysuit, silk green head covering, and carrying a black drawstring bag. Ilea is 5'1" and 96. So she's a tiny little thing. Okay, if you see her or know of her whereabouts, call 911 immediately. Gang, she's out there. Okay, now there's a better picture. Let me see which has a good thing with, there we go. Okay, she's out there on the streets. Tell me a street that is safe. Tell me a street where she's safe. Tell me where someone goes to live on the streets, okay, where they're not in danger of, okay, having to do things for money for their food, okay, not at risk for being trafficked, all those things. No. So if you guys can help us with this, there's not much, because again, she's a runaway, so we usually don't get the full story in these cases. And but she matters. She matters. And people do love her. And hopefully we can make sure she's safe and all. So both of these two young women, 13 years old and 19 years old, both of them under 20. One of them 6 months pregnant with a little boy or girl on the way. And let's see what we can do on finding them. I don't know, Sleuth and I need to talk about this week what our plans are. I keep forgetting to ask her now that I'm back from vacation and all. But if you guys can help me get this poster out, it is frightening for her and her family. Think about being any of these people's families. Okay, it's easy for us to sit there and say, you know what? Okay, the person's safe. They made the decision to do this or what. We can say that because we don't have that connection. But when you're a family member or a friend and you have that personal connection, your mind jumps to the worst possibilities in the world. And no family needs to go through all of that. So I'm really hoping we can find them both. If you can help me with getting out there posters to all my friends and family and everyone else here in Honolulu, can you please help in getting these posters out? We have the one that CID has put out. This one I've done, you guys know, I do this just because sometimes the 9.5 by 11 page, okay, photo posters are really hard to read. So I try to make it a little easier for people to read. So yeah, it could be any one of our own peeps, any one of our own family. Okay, and we think we're safe. This is other people's families. No. Doesn't take much for anything like this to be anyone's family. So anyhow, I wanted to say thank you to all of you guys. By the way, I am working on putting together my videos. I'm uploading videos to Google Photos right now so I can share photos from the trip with y'all. I have too many of them. That's why I got to go through them. Again, I'm so sorry for all the members that I did not get to upload things like I had promised to you guys. I should have known by now. The North Atlantic, yeah, it's not a good place for uploading Wi-Fi stuff. So anyhow, I am on my way out. KK, I will contact you. I got to go check in on Mom. I promised her I'd check in on her also. She's starting to feel better. For those of you who've been asking, you know, both Mom and I came down with COVID. I'm 100% better now. Well, 95% better. Mom still, I'm trying to help her out a little bit, but she's so much better now than she was a few days ago. Anyhow, love y'all all. I will see you, if not Wednesday. Well, we'll figure it out. That's it. Talk to y'all later. Aloha. Bye-bye.